Hello YouTube. Well, today I'm not going to be working on the CT70. Instead I'm going to be working on my swing arm right here for my 79 Suzuki rm250. What I'm going to attempt to do is to make my own chain rub. Now the chain rub on this one for the swing arm, it is this right here. So basically it just slides in here, and when the chain goes over, it rubs on this instead of the metal. But the one I've got here is pretty worn out, so I figured, before it breaks or whatever wears right out, because it's getting really thin here, I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna try to make it out of a cutting board right here, these plastic cutting boards. So what I'm gonna do is lining up with the bolt hold right here. I'm gonna take a heat gun, heat this up, and hopefully be able to wrap it over. Once it's wrapped over, then I'll just trim the material that I don't need. So I'm not too sure if this is going to work. If it does, then fantastic. It's a cheap fix. I was able to pick up 2 cutting boards of this size for $10 Canadian. And like a lot of you guys know, us Canadians here, when we're restoring these old bikes, we got to buy everything in the States. Hard to get parts in Canada, and right now with the Canadian dollar, the way it's doing, it's becoming very expensive. So whenever we can buy material home, it's a little bit better, cheaper. So I'm gonna try this, see what happens. Okay, so what I've done now is I've cut a strip off that board that is wider than what I need, as you can tell. Now I'm going to take the heat gun, start heating it up, I don't know, around here, I guess, or here, this area, and just try to wrap it over to here, and so I can bolt it down, then I can trim what I don't need. Okay, so far so good. It's bending pretty good, as you can tell here. I've got a bit of a bend right here, so I'm heating it up slowly, and I'm slowly bending it up. So at first what I had done is I put it into my vise right here where my line is, and I just started bending it this way as I'm heating it up, just slowly. So now what I'm going to do is I've drilled a hole right here where my bolt's going to go through, and I'm going to bolt it up to my swing arm and then start heating it up again and fold this over. Okay, so far so good, as you can tell. I mean, it springs back, but it's okay. Bends back easily too. So I might heat it up a little bit more so there's less tension on it. But looks good so far, so I'll keep heating it up, and I'll bolt it down, drill a hole right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drawing out the material that I don't need, so I can just cut it out. Okay, there you go, all done. So it's all trimmed out. You can see here, I've got a bolt right there, goes right through. And I drilled a hole on top here. So you just basically, all you got to do is push it down, bolt it in, and it's done. As you can tell, I got trimmed it up so it does the profile nice. And there you go. There's my chain rub. All done. So what I did to trim this with is I just used a jigsaw with a blade for cutting plastic. And that's it. So cutting board will work. We'll see how long it lasts. But you know what? Here's the rest of that board right there. Got lots of material to make lots more of these. And really, it only took me, with filming and everything, maybe an hour, and it was done. So cheap alternative way that it should last. Okay, here's my finished product on my swing arm. I've got the chain rub on. So it came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's going to protect the swing arm and chain. There you go. So I bolted it through, and then I took a grinder and I grinded the bolt right down. And by grinding, it was heating up the bolt, which was melting the plastic a bit. So then I would keep tightening it, and it just countersunk right inside.
so there's hardly anything at all here. So it worked out really well. Same thing for this side. This side here was just a kind of like a flathead carriage bolt, and as I was heating it up, it was countersinking right inside. And what I did is I cut a slot on top for a flat screwdriver, and then I gave it a couple more turns and to tighten it up.